Hey, good evening.
How we doing?
How's everybody?
Pretty good.
Feeling pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
Feeling good.
Yep.
About
Not
the
me.
Sixers.
Not me.
No.
Nope. Well, we got time to discuss my problems, and first and foremost, welcome everybody. This Fan's View.
Yep.
We got Lauren, we got Anthony, we got John, we got Carl.
You're a celebrity.
You know, I wish I could. I'd rather trade in all of that to be playing in Detroit on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather, all things considered, had we won, we could have had a home game.
Yeah,
We could have had a home game. We could have been playing at the Link.
Okay.
potentially.
But anyway, we got plenty of time to dig into it. John, how's our playoff fantasy football going?
Going well. We ended up having 68 people
Nice.
playing in that, so we picked up like 4 or 5 people. I think it was 4 people. I believe it was.
Good.
That came and played just for the playoffs. They played last year in the playoff or fantasy stuff with us, but weren't able to do it all year this year and came and played. So
Nice.
so yeah, it's going well. We got pretty much everybody's still got players available, even though there was a few upsets, which is good. The pictures are starting to narrow down, and we can see where things are going. So a lot of it's going to come down to the Kansas City Buffalo game. That the winner there will kind of whoever picked those players will take a step forward in the standings. So it's looking well. We got Liz Adams, Crilly. She's in first place, and Henry jumped up at the second place. So he's got a good spot. So he needs Kansas City to do well, or else he'll drop a bit. And then Kyle's in third, and we got I think Carolyn is in fourth.
Okay.
So
Do
yeah,
we have a clear-cut winner from the regular season?
well the regular season we're still continued into the playoffs. So
I
it's
know,
all,
but do we have a leader?
Oh, yeah.
There.
Yep, it was Liz Adams, Crilly. She was the high scorer, and then Carolyn was second, and then Kyle was third out of the 3 there in that regular season.
This Liz Ann person, new, been playing all year.
All year she's played. Yeah, she's actually my godmother.
Oh, okay. All right,
and,
the fix is in. Can say no more.
Well, her and her son are playing. Her and her son are doing the picks, and so yeah, it's
Yeah. I got it. Yep, gotcha. All right.
yeah. So yeah, they're doing well. This is the first time playing with us, and so yeah, they're enjoying it, of
All
course.
right.
But we'll see how things go. I think they're going to struggle. They're new to the playoff format part of it, and that's tripped them up a little bit for picking players. So we'll see how things work. So,
Okay.
yeah, but it's been fun. Like I said, we got a lot of people into it. Everybody that's we talk to or we see about it, they all are thankful that we're doing it and had a good time with it. So
Good.
how could you not, right?
I
I just thought it was very interesting that I think maybe 5 people out of the 68 picked Eagles in Philadelphia. It was kind of interesting.
no confidence, I guess.
Yeah, it was, and
maybe they just knew.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, it was a right call, but I was interested to see that
Okay.
Not many people picked the Eagles. But
I want to give Joe Stinger a shout out. He put up a little cute post today about having a little icy in his driveway. It was, it was an icy from, I guess, Wawa or his favorite convenience store. The ices that
The
you
drinks, not snow. Right?
drinks. Yeah, yeah. Was a little icy in his driveway, so I thought that was cute, Joe Stinger.
Yeah. You're welcome, Mike.
You guys aren't getting that.
I got it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you looked at each other. I thought maybe there was confusion.
Nah, no confusion here.
No confusion.
What flavor
Mike-
was the icy?
Mike looked to be red, so
All right. There you go.
looked to be red. Mike McCullough, is he another family member, John?
He's not. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe you were. I thought you were loading up.
Nah. Not a family member.
All right.
But a faithful player though. He's played a lot over the years.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of our players, and there's no trade-ins in on the prize, so it's still the Jalen Hurts autograph. There's no. This might be a situation where the second prize might be better than first prize.
We can't trade it in for a Jason Kelsey jersey. You're saying?
Yeah, right. Right. Hey, real quick before we dig into Eagles and more Eagles, Lauren, how about our boy last night? Put up 40 on the Joker, the defending champions, the
We
big
did.
fella, huh?
Yep. Yep. That was a good game. That was a good win.
That's it. That's all you got. It's a good game. It was a good win.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
That's all I got.
You're still coming down off of Monday night.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I
funny,
think-
I thought it was good that he played back-to-back games after the knee.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was more impressive to me than the 40 points. At the being out, 3 or 4 games there.
I feel like they had to play him. You can't not play him yesterday. People would have been furious.
Right. Well, yeah. True. But we've known we've seen it in the past though. Back-to-back nights, he finds a way to trip on a shoelace and not be playing. So.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, it was a good comeback win last night for them.
And the Fly guys are
hot,
very exciting to watch.
Yeah,
They got a pretty cool power play kill. They like the overtime wins, the shootouts. They like all that stuff. They like giving you extra minutes. They're exciting to watch, and I guess that's a good brand of hockey to have here in Philly. I'm trying to scrape up as many positives as I can before we go.
all slasher.
Yeah, before we go ballistic.
Would you trade the success that the Flyers and Sixers are having for the Eagles?
Well, what's your definition of success? Like, how far does it take me? And what do I get? What do I get in the trade? Are you giving me a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
If you're giving me a Super Bowl, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the poor. You can't say that. The poor Sixers are getting so close. The
Well,
Flyers.
I saw where. Oh gosh, help me out, John. Got traded from Toronto.
Yeah, Siakam.
Siakam. Yeah, got traded. You see what they got for him?
No, I didn't. I just heard it.
It was like a player, 3 number 1 picks.
Wow.
I think there was another team involved. I think Charlotte.
It was a third team. Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's a lot. No wonder the Sixers weren't in on that. But no, the Sixers, they've got to, I mean, I like the direction of the team. I don't know. Boy, if they could ever get Tobias Harris going with Maxey and the big fella, with that threesome, I'll take that threesome all day long.
Yeah. It's important when Jack's even saying yes, he would give up Flyer success for an Eagles.
Well, there's, it could be short-lived. The Sixers, it's a different story.
Yeah. Oh, no, of course. Yeah.
But no, let's. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to start? You want to, Lauren? I'm going to hand it over to you because I got a funny feeling you've been doing a lot of.
Well, why don't we stay a little bit more positive still for a little bit longer?
What do you got?
You don't want to kick it to me.
What do you got?
And then we got to honor Jason Kelsey. Potentially playing his last game.
Well, I was holding off on that, but go ahead. I got no problem with you taking charge.
Yeah, it's just he's a guy that didn't deserve the way him Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox didn't deserve the way the season ended. For them, coming back here, giving it another year, hoping to push us over the top again this year, and for the season to end this way, I feel the worst for them. But
Did you hear anything from his podcast today?
I heard a little bit, that they were talking about it. That he's not going to say anything just yet, but it kind of sounded like he was done. Though I'm thinking.
Yeah, it does. It feels a little different this year than I think it has in the past. I think the only reason that maybe he would agree to another season is if they really thought that next year was it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
We were somehow going to put all the puzzle pieces together and that was going to be the year that they win the whole thing. But he said that a couple people after the game said to him, I feel really bad. If this is really it, this is, how you're going out. And he goes, don't feel bad for me. And a few other, words in there. He goes, there's nothing to feel bad for. He's like, I've had a career that I never even thought was going to be possible. So there's nothing to feel bad about for me. So I thought that was interesting, but yeah, he's not saying a whole lot right now. He was pretty vague on the show, which I kind of expected. But yeah, it doesn't even sound like he's completely sold on the idea of retirement, but it does feel different. And every time he talks about the Eagles, he sort of talks about it in past tense as if, what was isn't anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he's getting a lot of, feedback from the family, as far as walking away from the game healthy, being able to get down on the ground and play with his kids, as he says,
Yeah.
And enjoying, family life. He's given the Eagles, 13, 14 years of his life, and, some good, some bad. He's made a lot of money, playing football. He's probably going to make a whole lot more money, in the broadcast booth, or, something related to, a Sunday show somewhere. He seems well equipped for speaking in front of a mic and a camera. So I can see that's where he could be heading.
Yeah, I see that.
Anthony, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I don't think there's any, and Lauren's saying, well, maybe if they say, hey, we're going to do this, this, this. I don't think there's anything you could say after those last games that would make him want to play. There are so many uncertainties going forward with your quarterback, with the, defense, the young defense. I feel like it's, you would have said at the beginning of the year, but it feels closer to at least a partial rebuild. And he doesn't want to deal with that. I mean, who wants to deal with that? You don't want to get your brain knocked in all the time, especially in the position that he's in. He doesn't want to be playing another 5-6 years from now and he not being able to speak or say something. So
yeah, I think he's the type of person as well to be around the team, work with the organization, with the Eagles Autism Foundation, do some things just to keep himself. If he didn't have a lot going on at home, let me slip down and see the boys, kind of thing. But he doesn't, like he said the other day, he's still feeling the pain of the game on Wednesdays, and that never used to be. So,
Yeah, not true.
I think, the situation of preparing for a retirement, he doesn't want to take away from anything, I guess, they've got to, his people have to put together something with the Eagles as far as, a press conference and, getting everybody, there that's necessary. And, I'm sure he wants to give a shout out to as many people along the way and, do it the right way. So
Yeah.
I think today, being locker room clean out day, they gave, a few players gave, some comments. He was one of them, spoke to the reporters, answered every question except for retirement. So I don't think, I think that day is coming. It's not that far off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, a great career. What was he?
Phenomenal career.
Fifth or sixth rounder to be a Hall of Famer, like Shawnee said, in 2029.
Yeah, 2029. So I'm assuming Shawnee predicts that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, that's a lot to be said about a center, right?
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
if he played baseball, I'd say probably not. But with football, they let a lot of guys in at one time, and they don't really have as many specifications, I would say, for getting in. So I got to think he's first ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the buses,
tires.
The sports trips to Canton will be loaded with Eagles fans, no doubt about it. It'll probably be outdone. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers were for Dawkins, but I would imagine.
Yeah.
I would imagine it'd be quite similar.
Yeah, I think it may even be bigger, than for Dawkins.
Well, it's funny too because he's from Cleveland, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's from Cleveland, and him and Travis go out of their way to talk about the old schools and all the family traditions and whatnot back home and that sort of thing. So they'll have a huge contingent.
Right. Oh yeah.
Do we get to talk about you being a celebrity now?
Go ahead, wing it.
So, how does it feel? You're on, every news station.
I'm going to pull an Angelo. I got my special pen.
Now you just got to write a book.
I got my special pen.
Wouldn't you?
I guess it all started when yesterday morning when Fox reached out to you, about coming in to the store.
Well, I think they called you directly. Didn't they call the store directly?
Is that what it was? Oh, that's right. Channel 6 called you.
Right.
That made me hang around, but I'm getting overtime. I'm putting in extra overtime for staying last night.
Okay. So, I didn't realize that was a thing.
It's funny. It's funny as crap because I was getting ready to leave early. I was getting ready to leave, and I was like, I'm thinking of this phone call. I'm like, wow, how do I tell her I left already?
I would have told you were turning around.
But yeah, Fox. And let me give you a side note to it because John can vouch for me. What was the position of the gentleman that came in the store today? The producer from Fox?
I believe that's what he said. Yeah, I didn't hear. I just heard he was from Fox. I think he was.
Thank me for allowing. What was her name? Kelly. Kelly Rule to come in and appreciate your time, and he also went out of his way. He said, "I see Channel 6 had to jump in there."
Yeah,
I thought that was funny as all get out, And I'm like, well, yeah. I said, but I'm pretty tight with the folks there. They've been following us for quite a few years, and I said, Becca was here, during the summer when we had, Bergie and Akers and Woodland String Band. I said, so it was fitting. I said, but I said there were 2 great interviews. You guys did a hell of a job. But then, my phone was blowing up this morning. It started with Eddie Epbright, at, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning that I was on Good Morning America.
Yep.
So they put a big piece together as well.
If it wasn't for that Channel 6 interview, Good Morning America doesn't happen. And then I got a couple notifications here about Yahoo Sports and WHYY, which is an affiliate, right, of PBS. So yeah, it's growing some wings.
Yeah, well, I'll trade all that in for an Eagles victory and either a home game or a game in Detroit. But still a lot of fun. Jason Kelsey is, who would have thunk that, and I hope he talks about it one day on his podcast about, Havertown and Delco and really elaborates more on it.
Right.
Because he's a man of the people. I mean, he doesn't shy away. He loves, taking pictures and, all the stuff, going to the St. Denis Fair and, having his little girls, fish for goldfish and, just having a good old time like any other normal dad.
Right.
So,
yeah. What sport athlete do you see do that? Any other?
Well, it's funny because, the fans have, what words am I looking for? They've attached themselves to him, as far as, wearing his jersey and, all the little side stuff that goes into, the collecting world.
Yeah.
Trading cards and, autograph this and autograph that. And, it's just great to see. You got all these young kids wearing the 62 jersey. It just reminds me so much of 6-0 Chuck Bednarik. He was the last icon, legend type Eagles player that really attracted this kind of attention. You've had some great players come through here. But he just, the connection is it's wild.
Yeah. And like you said, he's from Cleveland and he's, making his home here. He just bought up, a few more properties. He's staying here for life. So, I mean,
yeah, just a cool thing. And I'm sure his wife, Kylie, has a lot to do with that.
Of course, yeah.
He's from Delco and, was probably part of the conversation, as far as getting married and where we going to, settle in at eventually and that sort of thing. But what were you going to say, Lauren?
No, I was just going to say it's interesting because he sort of like transcends, multiple generations. And I think that's why he, everybody takes such a liking to him. But, like you guys mentioned, he grew up in Cleveland. So him and Travis very much talk about being Browns fans growing up, talking about being Cavaliers fans. But, he's sort of taken on this like Philly personality where he loves the Sixers, he loves the Flyers, he loves the Phillies. Like he knows just how to talk to his people. And, he's done a great job of being able to still be true to, the teams he grew up with and loved and those roots, but also kind of adopting sort of us and Philadelphia. And it makes him sort of one of us. And it genuinely feels like he could just come over to your house and just have like Thanksgiving dinner with you. And he wouldn't
don't forget the Jersey Shore. How about that?
Yeah. He sort of, he feels like he's one of us.
Right.
Just the way he talks, the way he acts, it's like no frills. Very different than Travis, obviously, in that regard. But I think that's just what makes him sort of so unique and so likable. And I heard the other day, or I think it was this morning actually on their podcast, that for a while there, he was the 5th jersey like the highest selling jersey. He was ranked 5th on NFL's website, which is crazy for a center.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure we got the Swifties to thank for that, but you know, still, it's just all of that has exploded, you know, 20 times what it was because of Travis and because of Taylor Swift, and it's, you know, it's more than I think anybody ever thought it would be.
Mike McCullough brings up a great point about the Super Bowl speech. Nobody could pull that off other than, well, maybe Chase Utley.
I was going to say Chase Utley is probably the only one. Yeah.
Chase Utley might be the only other guy that could pull off, you know, a speech like that. But the way he ripped it off at the podium that day, you know, was just absolutely so Philadelphia. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
What do you got, Anthony?
Not much. I mean,
I think he's ready for the not so great part.
yeah. I mean,
I almost had it till 7:00 to be positive. It was.
Well,
I know. I was like, boy, this is really going well.
Yeah, 3 minutes, Anthony, to keep it positive.
I'm like, this is really going well. I got Joe Stinger throwing Kelsey into the same category as Bernie Perrant.
Or Pont.
It's funny that he brings that up because Jeannie called me today to thank me and wish me Happy New Year. And she said, oh, by the way, Bernie would like to meet Jason Kelsey. Can you make that happen?
Oh, yeah, sure. Just call him.
She's calling me.
Yeah.
Right? So she said, well, you know, if anybody can make it happen, you know, I know he's right there in Havertown. And I'm like, Jeannie, no pressure. No pressure.
Right.
But, yeah, that's, you know.
I could just get him, you know, call him up and have him come in the store. Don't you think I'd have him here for a signing?
Hey, speaking of a signing and whatnot, we put together a lot of cool photos of merchandise that we still have available at Carl's Cards and Collectibles, which, by the way, is a great sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Just an unbelievable sponsor. But we've got a lot of great merchandise. Do we not, John?
Absolutely. I think we had about 15 items. I think we sent over, Lauren, maybe more. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of from all your needs for Jason Kelsey.
Yeah,
you got everything.
And it's really funny because he's become the number one seller in the store.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got people calling left and right now. It's crazy.
So, some things are limited. You know, some things we have a couple of. Some things, you know, we're in good shape on. But give the store a call or email Lauren or, you know, reach out to her if you have her cell phone number. A lot of people do.
Let's not do that.
I've been giving it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of things, I almost forgot that there's a flyer signing on Saturday.
Good flyer signing. Come on.
Sorry.
Another 50th anniversary with Hall of Famer Bill Barber, fan favorite Oris Kinderchuk. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
Two-time Stanley Cup champions to add to your Stanley Cup champions stuff that we got.
All them Stanley Cups will be back in the store on Saturday.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you got to get everything in by the 23rd, right? For Bernie Perrant.
Bobby Clark.
You got Bernie on my brain. But, you got Bobby Clark for the 23rd to get all your stuff in. So you got legends all over the place.
One last question before we jump into the hot topic. How long does it take for the Eagles to retire number 62?
The following year. Whatever. If this is, you know.
Yeah, once he says he's done for sure, I'm sure they would do it right away. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be an immediate ceremony, but I'm imagining you won't let anyone wear it for the next couple of years if they plan to have a big game or something.
Right.
So,
actually, to answer that, do they have like a rule like the Phillies as far as like the Wall of Fame? Do you know of for retiring?
You know, I don't. That's a great question.
Because that would be. I mean, he would be immediately, unless they have like a rule that's a 5-year rule or something like that. But or if he has to be inducted into the Hall of Fame type of thing
first.
I would imagine that they would have a couple. If I had to guess, a couple years without anyone wearing it, just to and then they would do something, because I don't imagine. Let's say you retire this year, I don't think they're going to have a Hall of Fame day number retirement jersey in the first year.
Well, wouldn't it be fitting if they waited for the 10-year anniversary of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
Just don't let anyone wear it to then retire his number, and that's that.
But the way things are going, you might want to have that excitement for next year.
Yeah. Sometimes those games feel forced. When they're doing promo after promo after promo because the team stinks.
Just think about it. You could have Brandon Graham Day. You could have Fletcher Cox Day. You got Jason Kelsey Day. There's 3 of your 8 games that you could have a positive theme going into it before.
Yeah, but you don't think Brandon Graham will be back?
Well, he said if they'll have me, he's getting old. I don't know if they want him still.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll just retire.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he wants to get that swan song, so I mean, he's going to have to take a pay cut, which I'm sure he will.
So we got a question from one of our favorite listeners. Did you hear why Travis took number 87 for his number?
Yes.
Would you like to provide the answer?
I didn't know if she was going to answer it, because Jason Kelsey was born in 1987, so it's a tribute to him.
Yep, correct. Yep.
Oh, neat.
Yep.
He doesn't really find that neat. He was just saying that.
That's weird.
They're very close. They're 2 very close brothers who are. I mean, Jason started tearing up today on the podcast, and Travis is like talking him through it as he's can barely get his words out, and they're very close brothers.
Yeah, I like the beginning. I like the beginning of the show when Jason told him, he goes, you got this, right? He goes, this is yours today, know, because, between losing and the whole retirement talk and that sort of thing. I thought he was great. 2 days after, losing the way they did and finishing up the season.
Well,
that was actually probably the one that was the next day, right?
They record those on Tuesday.
That's right. Yep. Good point. Yep. Good point.
For them. So it's pretty
hours
much as it gets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, it's a tough thing. Like I said, I kind of had a feeling when he turned over and with Statland and gave him a hug and stuff, but then they said he's done that the past 2 or 3 years that he's done that. Yeah. So he kind of like blew it off, like, hey, that wasn't a indication. But when he did say that, despite reports, he did not say anything to the team afterwards about retiring. Right.
So whether that's just him trying to downplay it so he can write the narrative of what he wants this to look like, or he didn't actually say it and it was just, sort of speculation. I'm
sure very much like a lot of other guys, he's going to want to not only have a press conference, but I'm sure he's going to put out like almost like not an ad in the newspaper when someone leaves town, but he's going to do something where he's very, very thoughtful before.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be in the most Jason Kelsey way, where it's not about him at all, but somehow it's about all of us.
Right.
They might do something where it's at, maybe in the springtime or something, when the stadium's a little bit warmer, or they invite in people for free, almost like the preseason game sort of a thing. Something that he can have as many people there as possible. I'm sure that's what he'd want to do.
Something that supports, Eagles autism
in
some way or something like that. Because those Christmas albums, they raised $3 million.
Yep.
On those albums for different charities. So.
Yeah. He'll definitely keep his hand in that as much as he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that the Eagles and whoever runs that foundation are really hoping that's the case, because that is big. That's a big fundraising, nugget to lose. So.
Well, but he's he's also done a great job with, bringing on board, Malata and Lane Johnson and a couple other teammates.
Oh, yeah.
Connor Barwin, is still affiliated with the team, not as a coach, but just as an administrator kind of thing. And, I just think, you're he's not going to disappear.
Right. Oh, yeah, no.
So, but to have a Jason Kelsey day at the link, I mean, he'll be ringing a lot of bells at the Sixers and throwing out a lot of first pitches at the Phillies for sure.
And he's got to be a guest appearance at WrestleMania, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. I could see that happening. That'd be cool.
Without a doubt.
Maybe him and his
with all his Eagles brothers sitting first row.
Mm.
They bring shit. I think they bring him out in the ring. Absolutely.
Yeah, cool idea. Well, without further ado, who wants to take the opening line?
Well, Lauren already said she you don't want to pass off to her. She said.
I didn't. No, you said you wanted it to be positive, and I said,
"Oh,
want to pass it off to me." No.
Well,
let all hell loose then.
It's a situation where, we were all so hoping that the unexpected was going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they were going to be able to flip this goddamn switch, and the past 6 weeks were going to be like they never happened, and
right.
We were going to put up a 30 spot, on Tampa, like, what are you guys talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all knew after we've had a couple of days to figure out, how bad a shape this team really is in. And we shouldn't be surprised, right?
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, they forgot Dallas Goedert and the ones that were feeling his theories forgot to flip that switch. They didn't show up on Monday night. It was embarrassing actually. To sit there the whole game and having to listen to Troy Aikman, criticizing the way the team is and how it's not coached well and just.
Well, I will say, Johnny, in their defense, not trying to defend them because I'm not huge fans in general, but I don't know that they said, unless I missed something, I don't know that I think Joe Buck was actually trying to hold back and be as professional as he could, because some of those, that the first or second play when Hurts had it and that throw that he had looked like a lob you would throw like your son in the backyard.
Right.
And I said, if this is how this is going to start off, then that's not good. He's obviously got problems with his fingers. And then they said they're going to run it. They ran it twice.
That was first down too.
And then you stop. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely blame all around. I don't know that there's one person that you couldn't blame. Maybe some of the defensive guys are young, and that is what it is. But I feel like Baker Mayfield they made him look like Joe Montana. I mean, he had all day to throw, and even there was a couple glimpses where Jalen got that chance and he got someone open, but he didn't have many receivers to throw it to either. So
right.
it was just I don't know. It was a sad showing, is what it was.
And as bad as or as good as we made Baker Mayfield look, the Buccaneers had set a record for the most drops in that game. I mean, he could have been even better. It was.
They're a 9-8 team. Baker Mayfield, they made him no pressure on him at all. He was so comfortable out there. Of course, maybe if Jason Kelsey he just didn't or Jalen Hurts, he didn't have the time to. Like all these other games, they just keep blitzing.
Yeah.
They know that the Eagles don't have an answer and they can't hold anyone. So why would you not blitz, especially with a guy with a hurt finger?
Yeah, what happened to this great offensive line? I mean, they blitzed before. Teams blitzed before. Um, you know, uh, take me down that road, John. I mean, you're the analytics guy here. What happened here over the past 2 months that changed all that?
Well, I don't know if it was over just the 2 months, but I mean, especially these last 2 months, all they're doing is it's the play calling. It's the offensive line is trying to hold for a 7-second play. Everything's deep. Like we were saying, it's kind of like with the Eagles. They're just trying to hit the home runs. And you got the blitz coming all the time at you. Like Anthony said, you got to have Dallas Goedert just going out 6 yards, to be a hot read for Jalen Hurts to be able to throw to him. DeAndre Swift to do the same thing. They never gave him another solution of, hey, throw it here when the blitz is coming. It was just Devontae Smith go 50 yards down the field. Yeah. They made that one catch, and he's like, oh, see, we beat the blitz.
So again, I'm going to throw it to you, John. Is this a case in point of Jalen Hurts not reading the field and not reading what's in front of him, going away from the play call, going away from first look, second look, third look? I mean, it seems like we're coming back to where Jalen's not first year Jalen, not where he's not seeing the field.
No, I agree with you there. I think though, it's going to sound weird coming from me, but I think I'm going to give Jalen another year on that, only because I think it's more on coaching. I really do. I just think that they just don't have the answers. It's just they had their one set of ways, and they keep using those same plays. Like Shawnee said, they don't use the middle of the field much.
He's also definitely, I don't care what they say, something's going to come out. He's hurt.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
The guy would not run forward. Any other time in the past where the line couldn't hold anyone, he would run forward. All he does is scramble to the left and the right, throws it out of bounds every single time.
Right.
And he's not getting caught. I mean, if there's something severely damaged, say something. And I get it. You're 10-1. You want to keep going. Well, now you see what happened. I would at least said something, maybe take a week or two off, let Mariota play. If you got a couple losses, whatever. But you got to have him ready for the playoffs. I mean, he's hurt. There's got to be hurt.
Well, we went through that back during the bye week, with the knee injury and whatnot. So that was there. That's been there because they even talked about it Monday night about, the knee brace, not wanting to wear the knee brace. So I think you're spot on with what could be coming next. Probably have his knee scoped, some sort of knee sprain or whatever that just never really healed. Because I just didn't see him running the offense like he ran it last year.
Right. Yeah.
And there wasn't a whole lot different. You had a better running back, you know what I mean? In DeAndre Swift, that was an upgrade over Miles Sanders as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But teams had all offseason to figure the Eagles out, to watch. They don't have that many plays. No. So they all offseason to dial it up and figure it out. And I think that's why we truly saw that 10-1 record, but we didn't feel 10-1 because we never blew anybody out. Most of the time we just got lucky with that record.
Yeah.
And they had our number. Teams had our number. And I think what's happening with Jalen is you're seeing some regression there that I think can happen sometimes, but he is also the coordinators that they had before that they lost, I think are a huge factor. And the ones that they have now just aren't the right fit. And that's no one's like fault. That's the thing. Like, listen, I've listened to a lot of sports talk radio the last couple of days, so don't mind me. But like, everybody wants to pick one thing to be upset about. Hugh Douglas wants to blame it on Howie Roseman. The other guy on the show, whatever his name is, Joe something or other, he wants to blame it on Nick Sirianni. That guy with Ricky Batalico, whatever his name is, he wants to blame it on Jalen Hurts. Everybody wants to blame it on one specific thing. Right. And I think a collapse like that is widespread. Everybody is at fault. There's an issue with every single like component of it. There isn't just a one fix, but I feel like for us, it's easier to say one thing will make it better because then it doesn't feel as like monumental. But I really think it's a lot of things that all compiled together that no one had an answer for that resulted in what you saw Monday night.
Well, I think, you know, if you want to go back to the 10-1, you know, the defense played, I don't know what, John, I'm sure you got every game calculated, you know, but the defense spent an awful lot of time on the field. The offense, you know, was a lot of 3 and outs. This offense suffered all year. And right. that defense got worn down. Got worn down, got, you know, more injuries than I can think of, you know, across the board. So you're right, Lauren. There is a lot of, you know, pieces here and there that there's plenty of blame to go around, of course. But, you know, we're Philadelphia, right? So, you know, just like the Phillies back, you know, in the World Series, you know, Game 6, Game 7, go back to the Sixers in the playoffs. You know, we just you start pointing an awful lot of fingers, right? You know, this ain't right, that ain't right, this person's no good. You know, you bring in different coaches. You know, we brought in a new coach with the Sixers. You know, look how much different they look, basically with the same pieces. Yeah. You know, just a different philosophy. And I honestly believe you're 100% accurate on the two coordinators that we lost, that we absolutely blew up the whole time they were here in Philly, because we called them out all the time. And, you know, here we are, you know, we'd welcome them back in a heartbeat now.
Well, these sure they didn't even they didn't even look like plays. They looked like they told the guys to go out there and like
sure. They were schoolyard plays.
And that you can't do that in the playoff. I mean, to get how many points did they have? 9?
Yeah, they couldn't even score a full
touchdown. 9 points in a playoff against the 9-8 Buccaneers is absolutely dreadful. And then you keep throwing it to same receiver. The poor guy looks like he's about to get annihilated every single time he catches the ball. Mm-hmm. But you don't get it out to Goddard as much. He had a few catches. You know, they tried Quez Watkins a couple times, but you didn't hear his name that much. I mean, they tried to force it. I mean, and I guess there's not much else they could do if no one's open. And he's got – I don't even know if no one's open. It's him not having time to throw. I just don't – I've never seen it. You've seen like a quarterback be at fault. You've seen a line get hurt. I've never seen it where the entire team looks defeated before the game even starts.
No, it was a total collapse. There's no question about that.
And that's why I don't feel like you can put it on any one thing. I don't feel like you can say this was Jalen's fault. This was the defense's fault. This was Sean Desai's fault. Like, there's not one person. This was a monumental collapse, and that requires like issues across the board. There isn't just one person. So I don't think getting rid of Nick Sirianni is going to fix everything. I don't think just getting 2 new coordinators is going to fix everything. I don't think getting a younger defense is going to fix everything. This is going to require work every single day in the offseason to get this team back to where it was before. But what's so interesting to me is they followed the same exact path as the Phillies. The year before, they go to the Super Bowl and lose. The year before that, the Phillies went to the World Series and lost. Then the Phillies lose in the playoffs and don't get nearly as far as we want. Fast forward to right now, the Eagles lose in the playoffs and don't get nearly as far.
I will say you feel way better about the Phillies didn't have a massive collapse though. Yes, they didn't hit when they needed to, but they didn't have a this is like a mass.
This feels
horrible.
different. But I will say, if there's one thing that I truly hope comes out of it, is I hope Jalen does a little bit of soul searching in the offseason and allows us all to see him be a little bit human, because I think that would make all of us feel a little bit better. Don't be afraid to show a little emotion. Don't be afraid to tell us when you're hurt or when you're not feeling right. This whole I have to be stoic and keep my poker face on 24/7. We know it's not real. We know that's
no one's like that.
At this point, I hate even listening to him after the games, because you're not going to learn anything. He's not going to tell you anything good. He's just going to answer the question so he can leave. Don't be afraid. If anything, the reason the city loves Jason Kelce is because he's human. Don't be afraid to be human. Well, show us that side of you. And I think a lot of this is different because so many people want to compare him to Carson Wentz. And I don't think we're there. I truly don't think we're there. But if we are, then there is something very, very wrong internally in this organization, because now that is the second quarterback that was supposed to be, the next freaking Peyton Manning, that has somehow regressed so bad that he sucks.
I think he's just hurt. His finger.
But tell us that. Tell us
saw his finger bent the other way. That can't be good.
I understand that, but
it look like it is.
Conference, explain all that to us.
But I don't think they want to. So it's the same reason when they say people are mad. They're like, well, all the coaches are just saying the general lines. We got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better. Well, what else do you want them to say? You want them to say you want them to say, well, our line really blows right now. Jason Kelce's Jalen Hurts is hurt. This guy's hurt. That guy's hurt. And we got pretty old pretty quick. And we fooled you for a while. You can't say that. You got to say this same BS that they said.
I would appreciate that a little bit.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that.
Well, you know what we can say? And we got to hear it from John, because he's got it bottled up inside him. And I know he's ready to explode. John, come on. Let me hear your feelings on the past 2 months, because you've been beating me up every day, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You've been beating me up. I can't take it no more. So, where are we at? Where we're going? Where are we going? What can we expect? Because Lauren's already hit on a couple of excellent points. I'm curious to hear your opinion.
Well, I agree with Lauren there. There's a lot of factors with this, and I think it all starts with Howie. As far as kind of like you were saying, Lauren, how Wentz got hurt or ran out of here. Now Jalen Hurts, kind of in the same situation. We're having the same issues with Doug Peterson. Wins the Super Bowl, and then he wants a little bit of control. And then, well, he's not a good coach. His practice things are this way. You get leaks about different things about him, and Carson Wentz isn't a leader. And then all of a sudden, you fast forward now, and there's issues about Sirianni not being, he's lost the locker room and so on. And then you hear Jalen Hurts isn't a leader. It's like the exact same words and the same play is being drawn out. So it's coming probably from the same person, and it's covering his own ass with Howie, and then it goes to coaching. I think you got a lot of very inexperienced coaches that are going up against more experienced coaches and guys that have been through battles. Shanahan has his ups and downs as well, and he's gone through his bad times and not. Sirianni just doesn't know what to do right at the moment. Brian Johnson was a quarterback coach, and all of a sudden he's the offensive coordinator right now, and calling plays just because he's Jalen Hurts' friend. Then you got the players not doing what they're supposed to do, right? I mean, Jalen Hurts is regressed. I mean, it almost looks like last year was a mirage, possibly. I hope not. But we saw when he had a little bit better coaching, Jalen Hurts showed that he can move the ball down the field, do different things. This year, now they took that away. The screen plays that worked, because last year half of their plays were 5 yards from the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. That he got the ball out quick to the guys, and the talent took over. And like we said from the very beginning with Sirianni, his Harry High School coaching is talk is, where let's fertilize the plants and do this and that is all great when you're winning. But when you start losing and you don't have the answers, like how to combat the blitz, the players start to say, hey, we're done.
John, I got two questions, one for you and one for Lauren. John, you knew that Tampa was going to blitz on every play.
Exactly.
You knew the head coach is a defensive guy.
Right.
You know his philosophy. They gave you the blueprint before the game that they were going to blitz every play. How do you not have some sort of protection, for Jalen, knowing what's coming?
It's just incompetence in the coaching. It's just just look at it with the Giants this year. You played the Giants two times in 3 weeks, and they beat you basically the same way. I mean, yes, we won the first game because it was at home, and Tyrod Taylor didn't play the first half, and they had the Italian out there, playing, for a little while, and
Joey Cutlets.
Yeah, Joey Cutlets. There you go. But it's like they had the exact same game plan, and they were still befuddled the second time around.
It befuddles me that this is the NFL. This isn't the XFL. This isn't high school ball. This isn't flag football.
But that's what it looks like. It looks like the offense is the high school, is dad's high school playbook, and we're going to keep running until we prove that we can't do it anymore. And I mean, hell, look at it. The tush push failed. I mean, that was like the life. That was the nail in the coffin there.
It wasn't even close. They saw that play coming from a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
The guy might have went backwards on that one.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I mean, I've never seen a team that's supposed to be that good be outplayed like that. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Well, and that's what happens when the players kind of give up. I mean, and it's not a good thing, I guess, but like it's just a reality of the world when you don't have faith in your leadership, that you're going out there. What are we going to do?
Well, here's the thing, though. Despite how bad they played, up until you got to the third quarter, they were still in that game.
They were still in that game.
Right. So I said, what?
In that game.
I said maybe a couple more big catches here or there, they might actually come out of this as winners. Not that they deserve to, but Tampa's not that good. I think Detroit can go and smoke them. But
all right. Here's my next question. This one's for Lauren. Has there been an AJ Brown sighting? What the hell is going on with Mr. Always Open to Mr. Always Missing? What's going on there?
I don't want to believe that he's one of the big problems, but I feel like the writing might be on the wall. He was so nice and so gracious to everybody when he was in the store. Both times he was great. And, maybe it's just an act, and maybe I just hope that he was, that truly that nice, but it just seems like he causes a lot more problems than he solves. And to not even be on the field with your team on the sidelines, you're not even there. Like, that Saturday night, somebody got footage of him at like a fight in Atlantic City or something, like, ringside at a fight.
Yep.
And I mean, to not even be a part of your team, to be there for anything just speaks volumes that I just don't understand. And so I truly went into Monday night thinking, okay, well, if he's really like the problem, then Jalen Hurts now doesn't have the pressure to have to throw to him anymore. He doesn't have to feel like I always have to get it to him or he's going to complain. And you saw that, like Anthony said, when the line did actually hold long enough for Jalen to read the field and make a play, him and Devontae Smith were, I mean, it was amazing. It was great. It was like a completely different team. And that happened quite a few times. And that made you feel like, okay, we're turning this around. And then it's 3-2 and they decide that, they're going to throw the ball. But anyways, it's... Well, I don't know where he's been. I don't know what happened, but I truly feel like he is one of the big issues with this team.
Well, let's play the devil's advocate. Maybe he is or isn't the issue, but let's say he's not the issue. Maybe he's just the guy. And I'm not saying you should have went to a fight in Atlantic City, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be with your team. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not giving him any excuse. But what I am saying is, if he sees something that's going on, yes, he should be a leader. I get it. Maybe it's coming from the point of frustration. Maybe he is the vocal guy. He is the guy outgoing. Guys, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. We need to fix this. And it's not happening. I'm not saying that's an excuse to not be with your team or to go to Atlantic City, but maybe we look at him as an example of as the excuse, and he's not the problem. How could one guy be the problem? That's not the problem. He's not the problem for defense. He's not the problem for offense. He's not the problem for coaching. He's a scapegoat because he's a receiver, and he likes to talk.
Did you watch the Eagles when T.O. was on the team?
He didn't go like this. They didn't go like this.
Well, he was absolutely a distraction that caused huge issues on that team. Left, right, up, down. Nobody escaped the distractions that guy caused. I mean, it was an absolute mess, and it was a shit show.
If you go back to early in the season, when AJ – threw one of his tantrums on the sideline, you know what I mean? It didn't look good. It did not look good. So I don't know where this disconnect came from.
I think something happened with him and Hurts. I mean, they came in as best buddies, and as great as that is, once again, it's great when you're friends and it's working and you're having fun. But then when you're there with your friends and you guys aren't winning anymore, I feel like something had to have happened between him and Hurts.
I'm just saying he can't be the sole reason. They got to take some accountability.
Yeah. Well, that, and I don't know that AJ was able to travel with the team being hurt. I think that's an NFL rule. Like they don't have you travel.
Yeah, I don't know about that during a playoff game, but anyway.
No, I mean that could be part of it. So I mean we got.
I don't know about. You're still part of the 53 man. So, I
guess it would have been nice to see him post something, encourage just something. It felt like you weren't.
Good point, because he took down all of his Eagles related social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot going on with that.
There's a major disconnect there, and I'm not quite sure.
I'm going to be interested.
And I don't want to say anything, too crazy. But you don't know what happened in Tennessee either. Why would they have given up on him?
Yeah, well.
So.
Well, they just didn't want to pay him because that was his year to go.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
Because they had to pay Derrick Henry.
They gave him away.
They did.
They gave him away. I'm just. Oh, man,
the other thing that's going to be interesting is he's owed $50 million this year. With the way that the contract's set up, so it's going to be interesting to see how he's able to manage that as well, because that could be a.
I just think it's probably high on the top of the list of one of the major distractions on this team as to why they really had so many problems the last 2 months of the season.
But
he was such a big part of their offense.
Yeah, but I
don't take that away.
I don't want to, with taking down the social media stuff, and I don't want to. I feel like people are attempting, just because they don't know the answers of what's going on. I feel like people are attempting to put him in that James Harden category, and I think everyone needs to just slow the roll for a minute and find out the details before we do that.
But you never will. You'll never find out the details.
As the weeks go on, you'll find out. Jalen was hurt. Someone starts to talk. So you'll find out. You're not going to find out right now, but you'll find out between now and the spring. And I don't know that I'm not saying he's a perfect angel, but I can't. You can't.
No, I don't think he's fully the reason for the collapse at all. But he's not helping. He's absolutely one of the issues with whatever is going on there.
He could just be extremely frustrated and not taking it the proper way. I think
but like Lauren said, to be there for your team and to be a cheerleader on the sidelines.
If there is some kind of rule where he actually cannot travel with the team because he's hurt, okay, I guess I buy that. But how severe is your knee injury if you're ringside at a fight in Atlantic City Saturday night?
Well,
he wasn't sitting in a wheelchair.
I'm not saying that he's right. I'm just saying he may be frustrated and he's may be a little immature and not taking it out the best way that he should. But I don't know.
How about this? How about they suit him up and he's a decoy on the field, right? You're out there running routes. You're not doing a whole lot of anything except being with your team. It just gave bad vibrations.
Well, that means that Quez Watkins couldn't be on the field.
Well, he didn't do anything either. He might as well have been inactive as well.
Well, you got to get it to him. You got to give the guy a minute to catch the ball. I mean, geez, it looked like that defense. That defense looked like the best defense I've ever seen the other day in that game.
It was the goddamn Tampa Bay Bucks.
Well,
you know what I mean? They were 9-8.
That's why.
You know what I mean? Can you imagine if they played like that against everybody for 17 weeks? They'd be undefeated.
You're lucky that they played Tampa Bay, because if they played a legitimate team, that game might have been 52-0. I mean, the way that they were playing.
Well, we may be fortunate that we take this show on the road next week, and we're going to be with number 1 pick Blair Thomas from Penn State to the New York Jets back in the day. We'll have to pick Blair's brain and see what he has to say about the locker room and what his feelings from the outside were, being a former player, and so we'll be at Buffalo Wild Wings next week. Hopefully everyone comes out and joins us. We've been having some really good shows there.
Yeah.
Really enjoying things with those people there. So closing comments, you guys, what do we got going for the rest of the week?
Well, just a couple of things. Mike had said that AJ Brown took off of social media last year as well. So he took everything down.
Well, he's
so he behaves like this often.
Well, hold on. I'm also saying Lauren looked at it the other day, and there were like 6 posts. So maybe it's got nothing to do with the Eagles. Maybe he's just weird with it. And
his timing is very odd then.
Well, bad timing, but he just deleted like all his videos too, which had nothing to do with the Eagles and some of them. I mean,
he was a weird poster on social media anyway. If you followed his stuff on Instagram, half of it, like all the same posts, half of it would be football related. The other half would be these weird videos. The other half would be these weird quotes. I mean, he was just a little off anyway when it came to social media, but I don't know.
29 days, spring training baseball.
Yeah. That's true.
It doesn't even get Mr. Pirate excited.
I'm excited. Tomorrow we got the Reading Hot Stovers here. We hear Teak and Billy Wagner and somebody else.
Can't wait for the somebody else.
Yeah, it's a softball player. I don't want to be rude. I don't know her name.
I know.
But no, that's exciting to get ready for it. And yeah, I think our season starts in like 85 days or something. So it'll be here before you know it.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Well, thanks everybody that joined us tonight. Thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
Great show. Hopefully we learn more about our Eagles over the course of the next few days and see what decisions they've made.
Yes. Hopefully.
All right.
Yep. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be drawn out a little longer than we may want.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Yep.
We got nothing but time.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
That is true.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of the week and come out and see us next week at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Sounds great.
Go Birds.
Yes.
Go Birds.